Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm just checking something. I'm just okay. So good news. I'll report that in a second. I'll report the good news in a second. Hey, welcome to Get Rich 101. I'm your host. I'm Sekou Writes. I am the author of this book. Here it is. Hack Your Pain Now. Hack Your Pain Now. And I am a survivor. I am a survivor. I had my stroke on, grab my piece of paper from mom, on July 14th, 2022. And since then I've been fighting. I've been fighting because I had a hemorrhagic stroke. You haven't heard of it because it's very rare, but it's the type of stroke that only leaves 13% of people alive. 13%. And that's just talking about leaving people alive, period. Just period. Like, even with all the ailments. So I survived a hemorrhagic stroke, and I'm keeping to the path of doing. And so I say on that note, but I just want to say that my mom and I went out to eat with a cousin yesterday, and my mom and my cousin, were talking to me about how well I'm doing. And it's so funny because it feels so opposite for me. It feels opposite for me in that it feels like I am chasing the accoutrements. I think so. I'm chasing the ball of things further south. But meanwhile, people are reporting that I'm doing better. But I feel like I'm going down. Everyone is reporting me going up. And so it's this weird feeling. There is this weird feeling inside me that my brain has not yet figured out how to shoot this part of me across the wilds of my thought process, that can grab onto that piece of mind that can say, yes, I'm doing this. So it's very hard for me to explain to you, but this is my best effort. That I am doing things, but my brain, my part of the brain that reports whether I'm doing good or bad, is not functioning yet. That part of my brain is not functioning yet. So I just have to believe. I just have to hope. I have to dream. I have to fight for all the things that are happening for me, and I have to just believe that I am doing the right thing. I'm doing the right thing. So anyway, that said, I just want to mention I spoke at my mom's church today. On Sunday, and this was how this came up. So so what had happened was I gave a speech to the unhoused gentleman. Unhoused gentleman is called the Room at the Inn, and they take 10 of the men to my church, to my mom's church, on Mondays, and they let them be there for a night, right? I've done this before. I've been and I forget what they call it, but I've been an aide for the overnight visit. What happened during that time was my very first time. I'd never done anything with the unhoused population before. It changed my life. But there was this one man there this one man who had survived a tornado. Now, I had survived a tornado, but there was, I just saw it kind of antithetically. I think that's the word. I think that's the word. But I just saw it, kind of nice. The sky turned green. I remember that. The sky turned green. So I went with that in mind. Well, the sky turned green. That was my experience of the tornado. But this man, he tried to fight the tornado at ground zero in a tent. And I was like, a tent? Ground zero? Like, I just couldn't compute. He told me about the noises that a hurricane makes, because apparently if you're down at ground zero, a hurricane makes a sound like a whistle, like a train coming. I was like, what? I never even heard of this. So anyway, he was grabbed by the hurricane and flipped around, and he had a really bad night. He had a really bad night. And he survived it and came to First Baptist Church, Capitol Hill. And he was talking to me about this. Me specifically. Like, not anybody else, me specifically, because I was up. I was up and I was wired about what I was doing, if I was doing everything right for the men. And he was up because he couldn't fathom how he could pray for death. He mentioned that. He prayed for death and have come through to the other side. And so he was talking to me. He was talking to me. He's like, what do I do? Where do I go? And I didn't have any answers. I mean, I could fib right now and say, oh, I told him, but no, I didn't. I could not think of anything. It was just me and him awake in the room together, in the side room, and I just couldn't think of anything to do to satisfy him. But my life has been led by him since then, because hopefully he is no longer in the situation. Hopefully he's well rested, got a great apartment, got everything that he ever wanted. But what I want to do is give back to that community, and I want to give that back to that community by talking about money. Yeah, talking about money. Right? I know that sounds weird, but yeah. So I went back this past Monday. I went back to the room at the inn at my mom's church, First Baptist Church, and I spoke to them. I spoke to that, and I said, brothers, if you have any questions about money, ask me. Now, pause, time out. Now, the reason I asked them to ask me about money is because this is what happened to me as a result of my stroke. As a result of my stroke, July 14, 2022, I had to slowly become aware of the fact that I didn't have any benefits. I did not have any benefits, right? And the bills kept coming. And I mean, bills and bills and bills and bills and bills. Something for a stroke, especially a hemorrhagic stroke, the bills are serious, right? So I had to rethink money. Ultimately, I thought about it. I figured I had to rethink money. And I've been rethinking money. And I was here in my mom's house, and I was talking about money, well, as much as I could talk. I was talking about money, and my mom was like, wow, this is great that you're getting this information. You need to teach it to some people. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know. But she insisted. I was like, all right. So that's why I have this show. Right. So anyway, I opened the floor to the men, and they had some great things. There was one guy, I told you all this. I told you this before, but just to re-emphasize, there's this one guy who I gave my attention to, and he really got it. And just to know that I was considered a miracle. He called me that. He said, "Hey man, you are a miracle." So that really fed me, and it helped me in thinking about the guy who I first met at the first time I went to the room then, and how I didn't have any information for him then, but I got information for him now. I got information from him now. So hopefully he's on his way. But if he's out there, just know that there's money. There's money to be had. There's money to be had. So anyway, all that said, I did that on Monday, and then I ran into some people, some church members, and they said, well, you know, they responded to me with peace, with love, with understanding, and I didn't realize that so many people felt that way about me still, because as I mentioned, it was July 14, 2022, so it's been a little bit of time. So people were really praying over me, and so I sent an email to my mom's pastor. Said, "Hey, could you read this?" The church. He said, "Yeah, that's fine. I'll read it." And then at church, he didn't read it. He called me up. I was like, "Oh, oh man!" So I was scrambling. I was like, so my mom assures me. She assures me that I did well. I did not know what I said. I was like, this is how I felt. I felt like I was like, that's how I felt. That's how I feel when I'm speaking, except in small spurts of time. Anything longer than a few ebbs of time, I start feeling like I'm going, right? And I didn't know what to do. I just said something, and then I said Ashe. That's how I know that I'm finished. I said Ashe, and some people said some nice things. Some people came up to me after the church and said some nice things. So I knew that I connected, but I couldn't. That part of my brain just doesn't connect. I just have to have faith. And this is what she said. My mom said this. And it was good that I didn't have my phone. Now, mind you, I had my phone, but I didn't have it out and have my notes because I was thinking that would have been my safe place. Mom was saying, no, it was good, it was heartfelt. I was like, oh, so I just have to trust. I just have to trust. And one day my brain will come into full circle. Right, and then I'll be able to encapsulate it. Oh, that reminds me of Bygraves, the portfolio that he put all my money into. Yeah, once again, I'll be able to put everything in my portfolio. Ashe. So anyway, that's what happened. That's what I was talking about with my mom and my cousin last night, and yeah, it was just interesting to talk about that difference. Okay, so now, what was I excited about when the show started? Well, when I started the show, 9:45, I realized that I've been dragging today. I know you can't tell from me now because I'm energized for doing the show. But before the show, I was like, I didn't want to do the show. I didn't go running yet. Right? And then I realized as I was rolling the intro, I was like, hey, I did not check my status, my trading status, my trading status, right? And so I was looking, and then I was like, that's what you saw me having that reaction. I was like, oh, what? So what happened was Monday, as you know, is my day. Well, I'm telling you now, but Monday is my day. So weekend hustle has been my thing. Weekend hustle, I buy some stocks at the end of the day on Friday, and then I'll sell them on Monday. But that has slowly converted itself to Monday period, right? So Monday, yesterday, yeah, I didn't sell one because it went low, and I have to sell it going high. went up, low, high, right? So it went low, and I was like, I'm gonna. Now, what I would typically do is just sell out, and just try again with another one. But Mel, Reverend Melissa, has been experimenting with automatic payments, and I was like, I haven't been doing that. So I scheduled it that if it ever reached my a little bit higher than where I bought it from, where I bought it for. See, that's a aphasia. It was right there, but anyway, I'm gonna try it again. So if the stock price comes up above where I bought it for, then it'll sell, right? And it sold today. My first automatic payment. So the automatic payment means that once you set it, you forget about it. Because I was sitting here being like, but my stock sold itself. And I was like, what? That's fantastic. That it sold. I was like, oh, that's really great. So, for those of you who want to be down with me in the conglomerate of trading, come on. Come on, because I got that idea from Mel. Mel learned about trading stocks from me, right? So it's one hand washes the other. One hand washes the other. Like, I wouldn't have had that idea if I hadn't been exposed to Mel trying it. And then because she tried it, I was like, well, I'll try it. And look at that. I made my money. Oh, that's bravo. Bravo, bravo. Let me say some hand clap or something. Oh, I forgot about this. I can't find the hand clap. Shoot. Oh, here's the fireworks. Here's the fireworks. Okay, quick and easy. All right, so that's that, and I want to shout out these stories recently. So recently, my computer, which I'm on now, thank you to Amazon for delivering the power cord quickly. I was on my mom's computer, and on my mom's computer, I found all these lovely pictures of me. So I just want to share some of these. Look at this. Look at this. Can you see me? Can you see me? I was like, what is this? What is this? And so I looked at it for a long hard and realized that this is New Orleans. This New Orleans is Dookie Chase, and the woman who runs a restaurant called something like that. But it's a Black-owned restaurant and goes down for many stories, many generations. And I was talking to her. I was really interested in her story, and I think that's a great photo of me. So let me put that up one more time. Yeah, that was cool. That was cool, right? All right. And then also, I showed you this one. I was at the Cadillac Museum. There was a Cadillac. I did zoom in. There was a Cadillac. So some Cadillac party of some kind. And I was rolling Cadillac. And then I found this. This is also on my mom's computer. Look at this. Me driving a Rolls Royce. A Rolls Royce. Yeah, I drove this Rolls Royce. I think I was in California. I was test driving the Rolls Royce. It was an amazing car. I took it through In-N-Out. In-N-Out is like the fast food place where everything is drive through. And I was like, what? All these people were running. I was like, what? All these people were running out to see me in this car. It was so fun. All right, so that's that. And then here's this. Here's me. This is my favorite childhood photo. This is my dad and mom put a lobster on my tray. And I was trying to get away from it. I was trying to back away from it. And so, this was so funny. This reminds me of my dad talking about me eating his lobster. So he would take me out the lobster often, and he would order lobster, and I would order something like hamburger or French fries, something like that. And then one day I was like, let me try some lobster. And I tried some lobster, and I ate it all. I ate it all like unprepared. That was like, ate all his lobster. He had to order another lobster to keep up with mine because I ate all his lobster. I ate all of it. So yeah, anyway, that's a funny story. Funny story. Let me put it up one more time. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. All right, folks. Oh, I share. So I'm feeling very good right now. I got to give it up to me taking the leap through the show because I'm telling you, I was feeling good, but I've done it and I feel good. So let me check my comments, and then I want to show something. I'm going to show another Instagram video and comment about it. Okay, BK, that's a beautiful photo of me. I think that's the one you talk about. You talk about the one where I'm talking to the woman, Dookie Chase. I think so. Yeah, I was like really in the zone, and I didn't know that somebody was taking a picture. I know someone was taking a picture. Like there was a photographer for that trip. Oh yeah, this was a press trip. This was a press trip. I think it might have been Cadillac. Maybe it was Cadillac. But anyway, we're all there. We were there to experience life after the storm. Life after the storm in New Orleans. And we went to all these places. They put us on a bus and they took us to all these places and for us to experience them and their culture and what they experienced. And so yeah, that was something I don't think I remember if I hadn't caught that photo. You know, but now that I have it, it's bring back all these memories. Yeah, so that was fun. Okay. Yeah, beautiful Range Rover. Beautiful Range Rover. Oh, Rolls Royce. Beautiful Rolls Royce. Yes, beautiful Rolls Royce. Let's see. I was just looking at this photo. Your album. You talk about my lobster photo. Lobster photos, hands down, is my number one photo. My number one photo, and because obviously I don't remember it, but linking the stories together gives me so much joy. Anyway, yes, and now I love lobster. And from that day on, like I don't even remember that story that I told you about me eating my dad's lobster, but I remember loving lobster. Like lobster is my favorite food. You know, lobster roll. Oh, lobster roll. Oh man. And so it all goes back to that one time. I was like, "What is this? What is this? What is this?" It was too funny. All right. So let me move on. Let's see. Wait a minute. Let me see if I can get this. If stock price goes up above where I purchased it, because automatic payments, the stock is sold itself. Sounds good. I want to learn more. I'm investing in Bitcoin, but don't understand. Oh, okay. You reminded me that I have not said much about Bitcoin. Okay. Let me say this. I am selling my Bitcoin. So Bitcoin was way up high. And what I remember from the last time that Bitcoin was way up high, this was years ago, before the pandemic, was that everyone got in on it. And when everyone got in on it, it crashed, right? And now I'm remembering what people told me. People told me is that when the world's view is focused on something, the people with smart money have already moved on. You feel me? The people with the smart money have already moved on, separate from the gaze of the public, right? So the public's looking over here, the smart money's over here. Smart money is over here, right? Just think of it that way with me. If you're looking at everything, everybody's talking about it, everybody's just right there, the smart money is moving. Smart money is moving. I did not follow that advice the first time, but I'm following that advice this time. I'm following the advice this time. So I'm moving, I'm selling. I'm selling all my Bitcoin. And I told you I was going to keep on taking it out. And I did that, but now I'm trying to get everything out. I'm leaving like maybe $100, maybe $100 or something like that in Bitcoin, but everything else I'm taking out, so that it can be for my benefit. It can be for my benefit. All right. So yeah, that's what I have to say about Bitcoin. So don't worry about whether you can understand it or not. You got to understand that that smart money moves fast. Smart money moves fast. It moves faster than an average person. And once we're all focused on this, that smart money goes away. Smart money goes away. So I learned that lesson last time. Learn it with me this time. Move your money. Move your money. Ashe. All right, so let me show this video really quick. All right, this is very interesting. I've been checking my interesting things on Instagram. I don't know this man, but he came up with the secret rich people know, and I thought this was good. This was good. So let me get this going.
Way in which you become truly rich. Rich people have a secret. Normal people, they work, they grind, they have a job, maybe a second job, driving an Uber, maybe a third job, delivering food. They sell their life and money. Wealthy people don't do that. 40 years ago, I started working in a factory, and I went up the ranks, and I ended up as managing director of a multi-billion pound company. And I was well rewarded for that. Well, I thought I was. I earned $400,000 a year. But the last thing I was involved in was selling that company to another company for 18.6, wait for it, billion. Now, I was an employee. I was not an owner. So the way in which rich people get really rich, they have ownership. They focus on owning things. So for the last 20 years, since I learned that lesson, I have become rich. And I have become rich by owning things. If you focus on owning assets, not on selling your life for money, in a quiet way, you just start to buy houses, buy stocks and shares, start your own company. This is the way in which you become truly rich, not by doing overtime, a second or a third job. This is the way.
Okay, so I just wanted to share that with you. And there's too much to say there, but when we buy stocks, they are small things, and they're kind of ephemeral. They're off in the distance somewhere, right? And they don't feel real. But this millionaire, just talked about buying stocks, and they're the smallest, easiest thing we can get. Things you can get immediately, right? And that is the first bit of ownership we need to own. It's the first bit of ownership we need to own, and we need to respect it, and then we can move on to other forms of assets that he's talking about. But the first one is stocks. You got to treat it well. You got to do it. Like, he was making $400,000 a year and wasn't doing anything because he didn't get any piece of the $18 million, right? And so he had to take a step back and say, wait a minute now, hold up now. He had to think about it. So we have to think about it too. We've got to concentrate on the stock market. It's the easiest thing to buy. It's the easiest thing to buy. You just have to treat it with respect. You have to treat it with respect. All right. Okay, folks. that's it for me today. That's it for me today. Thank you. I give thanks for me showing up today. I give thanks for me showing up today. I did not want to show up today. I did not want to show up today. So now is better than perfect. Now is better than perfect. Ashe, ashe, ashe. And I'll see you soon. All right.